This is where I get sacrificed. I know.
You think you get sacked?
Dude, yeah, I'm a virgin, so like
You aren't a
I'm a
virgin.
virgin.
Are you? Do
Dude.
you have to say that because we're on this podcast and the wrong person's going to hear that you're not virginal?
Virgin, yeah, because my mom's gonna listen to this, or my my uncle. No, I remember I was a virgin, and I made a joke to someone about how like I think it's actually it's a bullshit joke because other people have done it, but people want to sacrifice you when you're a virgin. You know, it's like you're such a hot commodity, but it's comforting to know people want you. You know,
That's all I want is to be wanted by
to be desired.
yeah. I want to get sacked. I want to be sacked for something good. What is the sacrifice of the virgin? What's that doing?
You know, I feel like there's just a lot of power in it because all the pent up sexual energy just explodes.
So that's a powerful person.
Dude, yeah. Dude, that's why, like, you remember, like, back in the day, if someone was a virgin until they were 30, they're wizards. I think that's how you get your powers, really. You just have to hold it in.
Man, I was on the pretty typical virginity loss path of like 18. That's like I got it taken care of at 18. You know,
You got fixed at 18.
I got it fixed, man. I was like, you know what? 18, we're getting into it.
Dude, mine got delayed because I had so much
Paperwork?
anxiety. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know, God said it takes 4 to 5 business days, especially in this economy.
This has to get notarized.
Oh, yeah.
Real quick. I know a notary who can sign off on your virginity.
Oh man, then I did.
So it got delayed?
Got delayed, dude. I got delayed because we get to her dorm room, right? And I met her in international relations, so you know the pussy's good, right? And like,
Is that how you know?
that's how you know.
International relations, the best.
Poli-sci, international, any of the soft sciences, you know. But we meet up, and she's from Rhode Island, and she like was just not fun. She told me, first off, she came right out of the bat and said, I have diabetes, you have to know how to deal with that. I'm like, what do you mean I have to know how to deal with it? What am I signing up for? I thought we were linking up. And then she shared she was a Republican.
You're signing up to be a nurse, Mo. You're signing up to be a diabetes nurse.
So as we have sex and you like pass out, you want me to get you like a Snickers?
She's like,
Is that what you want me to
do an insulin or do a Snicker, and then everything's gonna be fine.
And then you can just finish. I'm like, oh my God. No, dude, I got like, so this is a story I've shared a few times where the audacity, we're hanging out, we're getting to know each other, right? She's hot. And I'm like, damn, she's like really way hotter than I can typically pull. And she explains why. And then
She's like, I got diabetes and some other things.
I had diabetes and I really like my dad. But we're chilling and getting to know each other. And she's like, yeah, tell me a little bit about yourself. She spends an hour telling me her life story. And then I'm just like, first word out of my mouth is like, yeah, you know, I'm an immigrant. I came from Somalia, just like most of my stand-up, right? Like, this is who I am.
Yeah.
And she's like, Somalia, where is that? I'm like, oh, you know, a lot of people don't know where Somalia is. It's fine, right? She's 18. I'm 18.
It's in Australia, right?
Yeah, somewhere in Australia.
Somewhere around
It's a
there.
small little place in Australia. And I tell her, I'm like, yeah, it's a country. Like, I'm thinking country she might know.
Yeah.
I met her in international relations.
Uh-huh.
I was like, you know, Egypt? We're not that far away from Egypt, like really close to Egypt. And she's like, no, Egypt's in the Middle East.
Oh, I love when people are so dumb that they correct people who are like experienced with the thing they're talking about to a point where it's like, what do you mean? Like, I had a guy tell me that my old car was not the color that it was. He's like, your car was blue. I'm like, how would you know that? How would you remember that? And I, the one who purchased the vehicle and drove it for 6 years, how would I not remember that?
You know what's funny?
So yeah, this lady does not. She's telling you where Somalia is.
She's telling me where Somalia is, but the thing is, I have no problem with stupidity if you're willing to be corrected, right?
Uh-huh.
If you're cool with like, and it's not even stupidity. If you don't know, it's not stupidity. You just didn't know. Granted, she got into college. I was in a state school. It's whatever. She's fine. So I tell her like, no, no, no. Egypt's in Africa, and she's like, no, you're wrong.
Yeah.
It's in the Middle East, and
Egypt's
she
in the Middle
doubled down,
East?
and
She
we
told
had
you
an
Egypt-
argument. Yeah, we had an argument for a long time about it, and I was like, yeah, that's not true. And then finally, we kind of let it go, and we like make out a little bit. Oh, it's on my dick.
It's
Uh,
fully on there.
How do I?
I think you
spin
just
this
pull it. Just pull it up a little bit. Just there you
up?
go.
Oh, okay. That's taut. Oh, now it's
But
like
now
real high.
block your beautiful face.
So we're hanging out.
Yeah.
We're making out, and I'm excited. I'm like, yes, I'm gonna lose it. And then it just like dawns on me that like there is a small chance that I could accidentally make this bitch pregnant, and I would kill myself. I would totally not want to live that life.
Really?
So
You wouldn't wanna impregnate a woman that thinks Egypt is not where it is in the world?
and argue with me about it.
And diabetic?
We had to literally, the diabetes was, I should have left at diabetes,
As
but
soon as you said diabetic, you're like, I'm out! I'm done! It's over.
I'm sorry, I gotta go. Maybe next time. Maybe when I'm a diabetic too, babe, we can talk. She had a huge butt, and she was a very nice lady. She was very nice to me. But we gave up. At one point, I gave up, and I was like, you know what? You're right. Why do I ever doubt white people? It's in Egypt. Egypt's in the Middle
Egypt's
East.
in the Middle East, baby.
It's the Middle East, Maybe she's thinking like the pan-Arab history type thing, because there was but like, so I like bullshit, and I'm like, oh hey, I gotta go. My roommate is like locked out of his dorm room. I gotta go let him in. She's like, you're gonna come back, right? I'm like, nah. I think I'm gonna leave. So I left her with her shirt off, just hanging, and left. And I
Yeah,
was just
well,
like, ooh.
That'll happen.
Yeah, that wasn't my brightest moment.
So can you? Where's?
Can I tell you the rest of that story?
Yeah.
It's sad
What's
to make
up?
me, because I'm the bad person in that story. I ended up like going to bed and was like, fuck, I'm so stupid. She was so hot. Fuck, that's so stupid. So I spent weeks trying to win her back,
Really?
yeah, I got to hang out with her again, but we didn't do anything.
What's a Mo Winback move?
Winbakmoo for me at 18?
Winback move. That's a good name.
Winbakmoo. My Winbakmoo.
Winback move.
I think was a text message the next day, just like, hey, I'm sorry, I just had to figure things out with my roommate. Love to hang out with you again later. And I just like left it. And then she was texting me back, and she was kind of laughing it off, and we hung out again, and she made me meet with her friend, who I think her friend, rightfully so, kind of sussed out that I was not like boyfriend material at the time.
You are. Don't even believe it for a second, because you are boyfriend material. Okay, you go, girl.
I really appreciate it.
So this lady, what is she dead now? What's going on?
I think she's married and
She's
has
married, and
a
she
lovely
cured
life.
diabetes. She cured her
She
diabetes.
cured it. Yeah, you can cure it,
She had a big old butt.
dude.
She had that big old diabetic ass, man. She had a fucking cool diabetic ass. Give me that. Get all up in there. Get some insulin.
Oh my god, dude. And I could have been the person that pricked her. I could have given her a little insulin prick.
So sweet.
Taking care of her.
My lady was she was from Rhode Island.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah.
Rhode Island's a crazy state, dude. Rhode Island was run by the mob. Do you know that history or a bit of it?
Yeah. There's all kinds of shady stuff going on.
Up to the governor, dude. The governor was connected.
Yeah. I was privy to that. I think I might have listened to a podcast about it.
Oh, dude, I learned about it from work because we work with Rhode Island a lot, and there are a lot of weird Rhode Island laws that are Mop can I tell you? I think you're wrong about your mechanic thing.
My mechanic thing?
I think what happened because your car was so old. Your mechanic telling you it was
No,
blue.
my friend.
Your friend was.
Yeah.
Did they look at the sticker in your door jamb?
No.
Oh, okay.
And my car was fully black and was never not black, and there's no picture of it in existence of it being blue.
So what happens is cars have paint codes on that sticker.
What do you work in the car business, buddy?
Yeah, I was an appraiser for a while
All right.
for an insurance company, and they have numbers that associate to a different color. So your car could have been resprayed at one point, but if it's just your friend and they didn't look at it, they're just your car was a different color.
I think you're giving my friend a tremendous amount of credit.
And I think that
by expecting him to have looked into the door jamb and been like, well, actually, I happen to have noticed in your door jamb, sir, it was blue. I don't care what color they painted it. That shit is blue on the door jamb. So
you did a $7,000 respray, sir. You don't.
It's
even
a respray.
know.
It costs more than your car.
Oh my god, I believe him. I'm with him. All right. That's my virginity story. Well, I didn't lose it then.
And
I lost it when I
so
was
where's
12.
Somalia, though?
Where's Somalia? Somalia is a country in the Horn of Africa.
Yeah.
It's really close to Ethiopia,
Yeah.
which that's where all the real Christians are from.
I call it Ethiopia, but that's just me.
Ethiopia.
Yeah.
Take over Ethiopia.
Yeah, well, I'd be a nice guy.
I think you'd be a great tyrant. What would be your first after you do the basic stuff,
Give every man, woman, and child a machete. That's step one. Make sure everyone's armed.
The Philippines already does that.
Okay, good. Okay, so they already give you the machetes out? Okay.
I think the way my Filipino friends describe it, of which I have 3, they all say you get one at birth. There's a ceremony.
Oh, it's very sweet of them. So so you're saying I'd be a good tyrant?
I think you're fair. I think you're just. I think I'd be a bad rap.
I think I'd be a pretty good leader of a country. I think I'd probably have a lot of ADD going on. They'd be like, "Hey, we need to solve this crisis," and then I'd be like, "Yeah, but I have to buy bird food or something. You know what I mean? I have to buy bird seed or something for my bird feeder."
And what if by doing that, the chain it all works out because of the chain, you get bird feed for your bird flies out.
It's probably bird
and
seed.
Cures,
I called it.
Whatever the problem is.
Yeah.
And you'd be the bird seed president.
I'm the bird man. I'm the bird seed man.
I think there's a Little Wayne reference.
So I'd get the seed, and then I'd have to solve the crisis. Yeah, I mean, what does the president even do, really?
Someone has to talk to the aliens. Yeah.
You think so?
Negotiate. I don't really know.
Are we gonna go off on aliens now? Are we about to blast off? By the way, where are we right now? Do you want to tell everybody where we are? Because we're anywhere you want us to be.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, what's right behind us?
I would love to see.
Is it the Large Hadron Collider? What is it?
Large Hadron. Is that how it's pronounced? Hadron Collider?
I believe so.
I don't know how. I think it's Hydra. I don't know. I'm stupid.
I'm stupid too. I could be wrong.
Let's do the Sub-Sahara.
The Sub-Sahara. Are we in a desert? Sub means not in the Sahara Desert.
Do you want to be in that submarine? Do you want to be in that submarine?
Let's be in the Titanic sub. Yeah, let's got a. I got a Wiimote.
No, it has to be a logic.
Dude, they have a Wiimote on the thing controlling everything. The guy's controlling it like this. He's just like, yeah, I'm gonna swing my arm. I got my Wiimote. Let's go to the Titanic. Oh no, I did the wrong thing, and now boom.
Dude, I think the way they died, I wish I could die like that.
You want to die that way?
Dude, if I had to choose the way I die, dude, that's you die in less than a second. You die quicker than it would take you to process your death.
That's genius.
That's dude, that's the apple of death.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think Do you ever? I mean, I've heard a video of someone being like, they're. I don't know what happened. I don't know. I don't remember the circumstances, but I remember the person in the video saying "you killed me," like they were actually getting killed, or like the person that was somehow filming or was like, "You killed me," and then they die. It must be weird to just like know you're dying, like in a crazy way at that moment.
I feel like I don't know. There have been times, dude. I've been pretty fucked up, and I've like resigned myself to like, oh, it could happen.
Oh,
And like
that you could peace out.
yeah, like I was just like, yeah, this could happen, and if it happens, it is what it is. But like, I don't know, man. I feel like for me, I'm just such a bitch. I am just the biggest.
I have thought
bitch.
about that. When I've been like, this Mo guy is a big old bitch.
Dude, I am such a bitch. Even though the way you said that, an enunciated bitch makes me uncomfortable.
Okay.
I will say, I'm a big bitch, dude. I don't want to feel pain.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen those people like suffer in the hospital or like suffer like in their death? Like they're like it takes months.
Dude, you're talking my YouTube algorithm. That's all I get recommended. I watch hours of just people suffering in hospitals, man.
Oh man. Oh, okay. I could see that being on TikTok though. I could see someone going TikTok live.
A 20-second someone, and they're like part 1 of 80, and it's just like my grandma's suffering to death. Watch her die. Subscribe. Follow me on TikTok.
My day as a hospice worker. Here I'm hanging out with Janet. Janet has 4 days to live. Janet, say hi. Fuck you.
Hi, I'm dying again.
I just want to know when this is gonna happen.
Can you send the cat in and that sits on the lap when they're gonna die? The person, that's me. I want to die.
Could you ask Bethesda to release the new Elder Scrolls game? I just want to get a couple levels in.
I'm very old, but I know about Bethesda.
I was there OG days. I was Fallout player. I played back in the day.
I was back in the day. I started Fallout.
Oh my god! I actually have to go. I want to hang out with my D&D group.
Yeah, I don't watch those TikToks, but.
All right, do you have a TikTok? Is it on your phone?
I don't.
Dude,
I don't talk.
Missing out.
I don't do it, man. I can't. I've done it before, and it's just like, they've figured it out. Like it does the thing that they want, which is like they want to suck you in and just keep you there, just giving your eyes and your blood, and just they want to take everything from you, your whole existence, because it's just so easy to sit there.
So, and dude,
for hours,
the way they sell stuff, I can proudly say the only thing I've ever bought, my entire life, 15 years or whatever, or like a long time watching YouTube and being on YouTube, I've only bought one item.
Blue Chew.
2 items. Athletic Greens.
Blue Chew.
And
how are the Athletic
t-shirts.
Greens going?
It's stupid. I did it for 2 months. And
what happened to you?
I thought it would become a better person, and
yeah,
I became worse.
You did.
I shitted more.
You shat.
I shat a lot.
You shat. So shit makes you shit. Makes you shit buckets.
Makes you shit buckets. It doesn't taste that good.
Oh, that's what I heard. That was the big selling point, is that it tastes good.
So that's the funny thing. The big selling point is it tastes better than what else is on the market, like comparatively, like Huel and all that other stuff, which is a great way to like kill any sponsorship for a podcast.
Well, I was just gonna say, guys, if you want to buy some Athletic Greens, just go to athleticgreens.com/MoKeithTime, and then you will get your discount code of 0% off.
I will say they lure you
Probably
in well, because if you do the membership, they get you a fancy like holder for it. And they give you a water bottle that's like really preem, dude.
Wagga bogga.
A water bottle.
Give me a wagga bogga.
Numbers. But no, TikTok's great.
Numbers.
I've bought like 10 things because of TikTok. Because like the algorithm's so good, like it knows what I want. Like it's like, Oh, do you want one of those like emotional squids that you can flip inside out if you're mad or angry, but an anime version? Yeah, sign me up. I'm gonna buy that.
You didn't buy that.
I did buy
What's
that.
that do? Are you using it?
It's the cutest thing I have.
Oh,
I
it's
use it all the
cute.
time.
Oh, it's
It's
cute.
a plushie.
Okay.
You know Anna from Spy X
Spy Kids?
Spy.
No, I don't know Spy Kids.
It's a Spy X assassin or
Sounds
something.
like a dirty website.
She's a little girl, dude. That's not cool.
Sounds like a completely okay website.
She's an anime little girl though, so.
Sounds like somebody's making videos.
But no, dude, TikTok rocks for that aspect. But I feel like they've created a monster for sure. I watched something that said that not millennials, Zoomers or whatever the young kids are right now,
Yeah.
like 32% get their financial advice off TikTok. Is that insane?
I don't know, man. I got my financial advice from my buddy Fred, who told me to buy Amazon, and then I did.
You bought Amazon?
Oh yeah, like 10 years ago.
This house doesn't look like you bought Amazon, bro.
Why are you talking about? We're not in a house. We're at the Large Hadron Collider.
Oh shit!
But
it is a house technically.
how much? I mean,
Hadron Collider's a house.
I bought Amazon. I'm not gonna say I didn't sell it a year later, but I bought it.
Sold it a year later.
Yeah, I bought it at like $270 a share.
You know, the thing is, you don't know about that shit because, like,
No,
you
you
don't
don't.
know.
You don't know.
You don't know. Yeah.
You don't know, and Amazon was like, it was one of those things where it was coming up, and then it would keep dipping, and then it would come up again, and it would dip, and it was just felt like it was like one of these things that was never gonna make a profit because they just kept.
No diamond hands, dude. You don't. Have
I don't have the diamond. I didn't know about diamond hands. This was before diamond hands were a thing. This was like Warren Buffett's like, you gotta buy McDonald's and Coca-Cola stock, and then live in your house in Nebraska for 58 years, and buy $2 breakfast every morning, and then be a billionaire, and then never do anything with all of your billions. Just talk about it.
He has a private jet that's really nice. You could have had a private jet.
Yeah, but you know what I do have?
What?
I have a fucking skeleton. Okay.
It is a nice skeleton.
I've got a skeleton.
That is a nice skeleton. That is a very nice skeleton. What's up, buddy? Just like the skeleton put its hands on my thighs. No!
Yeah.
Stop.
He's what keeps us together. We hold his hand like he's our child. This is our child.
It's our child.
This is our child that we've created.
Okay, good. Now turn the camera off. I'm gonna breastfeed it.
Now we feed. Now we feed.
Oh my god. Just like just like if we're in a roller coaster. It's like hands up. Sweet.
I don't know. I try not to buy anything off of an advertisement online. It's just very upsetting that they just can show you some stuff that you're just like, oh, I want that, and then it's like,
You know how they lure you in, dude?
well, you don't even know you want it till you see it, and then you want it, and then you're like, well, I didn't need that. It's upsetting.
Yeah, I'm happy with some of the purchases. Some of them I don't even remember anymore. They make it so easy, though. You click a button. They lure you in with booty, though, dude. That's how I got into TikTok. They were great twerking videos, and, like, you keep going in, and
then you found some diabetic twerking videos, and then you were like, oh my god,
sold.
something has awoken in me.
Oh my god, yeah. I have a huge fetish.
Is that your key search word on adult sites? Is diabetic? Diabetic booty.
Diabetic goth girl with
diabetic goth booty girl.
diabetic goth booty girl with Crohn's.
Crohn's is pivotal. You need that woman to have some Crohn's disease.
She doesn't have any Crohn's. I don't want her. You know?
I want her to have some Crohn's. I want her to be making cronuts. You remember that craze? That was a craze.
Dude, cronuts are good.
I never had one. That's fine.
You never had a cronut.
I didn't.
Such a healthy boy.
I'm not. That's why
I didn't have cronuts, but I had meth. So just like
You smoke meth?
no, but I'd love to. I'm gonna do all the drugs.
Well, it
right
so
before
happens
I die.
that at the Large Hadron Collider, they're working on meth today. So
Meth.
they're cooking meth up in space. Space meth.
Space meth.
Yeah, you smoke it, and that's how you actually get to talk to the aliens. They don't talk. They just
Vibe.
They vibe into you, and then you vibe into them, and then you're an alien guy.
Dude, have you ever gone deep into like astral projection?
I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you asked such. I mean, yes.
So my favorite thing about TikTok.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say my favorite thing about astral projecting.
I've never astral projected. I don't want to. I don't like to fuck with things that like may or may not be real, right? Like I just don't want. I don't like. I don't fuck with like black magic, any of that stuff. In my head, I'm just like I'll learn about it, but like I don't want to be hexed. I don't want to deal with. So because it's like why risk it? Like if even like you don't have to, but like you can go onto TikTok, and I feel like so many people have shared delusions. You know,
Yeah.
like the fact that they'll meet someone that will love them in their lives. Like they have like weird delusions in their heads.
Yeah.
And one of them is like astral projection. And
It's a bone man. Oh, bone man. Yeah, astral projection.
One of them. So they were talking about the rules of astral projection, and they were like, there are some places you can't astral project to because there's a powerful shield. The aliens know about astral projection. They're way more spiritual than us. So like the moon can't astral project there. Guess where else you can't astral project to?
I don't know, your mom's house?
My mom does. Yeah, she doesn't allow that. Yeah, you have to take your shoes off before you astral project to my mom's house. That's what you have to do.
If you're that's the only way you could astral project into your mom's house.
You have to knock and take your shoes off. No, dude. Area 51, you can't go to. And there's places in Hollywood. I don't know. They were making shit up. And the Hadron Collider, you can't go. Can't go here.
Well, that's where we are. We don't need to astral project because we're there already.
We're there.
I've thought I had a kick on lucid dreaming.
Ooh.
Did you ever get into that?
I tried, then I got scared. Shadow people.
What do you mean? What's that? What are you seeing?
If you know, you know. I'm kidding.
I like it.
No, I tried it. I did try it. I do think I control some of my dreams. I'll like dream of like being in an anime or something. But like, what did you do? What did you dream?
I mean, it usually ended up sex stuff. A lot of the time, it was just like you just have sex with anybody. It's just cool.
Who'd you have sex with?
Just people. No like real people. Just people
and
that.
What preventable disease did they have? Actually,
preventable. What mental illnesses did they have?
Yeah, what mental illness?
Did they have diabetes? All of these ladies had diabetes in my dream.
That's good. That's good.
No, I don't know. You just sex with people, and that was fun. Or you get to go just do stuff that you. I mean, I'd fly. I'd do some flying. That was kind of fun. I just a lot of like looking around. Like, one thing that would always happen to me in these dreams is I would dream that I'm in my house or in a house that's mine, like not this house, but just in my house. We're in the Hadron. We're in my house, and for whatever reason, I'd always like find these rooms in my house that I forgot about. Have you ever had a dream where you find rooms that are in your house or like that you never go to, and you're like, oh yeah, this room, and it's like some crazy room, and it's just cool, and it's different. And
I had a dream as a kid. I used to be scared of our basement because we had those old school like unfinished basements with like dirt on the side of the walls and shit. Like it's like a real fucking dingy place.
Yeah.
And I had dreams like there were like surgery. I think the scariest dream I had as a kid was there was, I don't know which Star Trek it was, but one of the Star Treks there was a guy who ran the bar and he had like really wrinkly skin. He was like an alien, and I had a dream that they accused him of like they accused him of like treason, and the punishment was to like they were doing it in my basement. They were like they put him on a table and they were bisecting him, like just cutting him down here, and they were,
Bisecting?
I think that's the term, right? Or is it
Dissecting? Bisecting?
bisecting? I think is when they cut you in half. So they were like cutting
I've
him
never
in
been
half
bisected. Okay, yep.
and peeling him back, and then there were other people inside of it, and you keep peeling, and there are just more people. I was a
Ew.
weird kid. It was, and that dream fucked me up. I was scared. I remember I was like terrified, and then I told my aunt about it, and my aunt just told me to go back to bed.
Oh, okay. All right, that's cool. She wasn't like, "Oh, we have to get you to a guy that I know." to help
No,
you
no.
out."
So that's the great thing about growing up in the community I lived in. Nobody addressed their mental health. So like it's, you know, they were just like, be a man, and I turned out fine. So
Yeah, you did.
yeah, I'm good. I'm well adjusted.
I would just have these. I would go on these lucid dream kicks, and I knew how to get into them, and I knew how to like stay. It's hard to stay in a lucid dream sometimes, like, because you're like, if you're in it long enough, your body just wants to wake up. Like,
Did you do that thing where like you had like a trigger word or phrase to
Sure.
get you out? What was
not
your
to get
phrase?
me out, but I had a trigger of basically it was like when I was reading about it, they were like, so a great way to become good at lucid dreaming is by doing like a dream test, which is like throughout your normal day when you're awake, you have to ask yourself like every so often, am I dreaming right now? And then you kind of look around, you're like, no, I'm not dreaming. And like if you just keep that as like almost like a mantra, like as you're like, am I dreaming right now? And you kind of ingrain it, and then eventually it'll become so ingrained you'll start saying it like in your dream, and you'll be like, am I dreaming? I'm like, I am dreaming right now. Like that can happen.
I feel like that could backfire you on so bad. Like
Or
all of a sudden, like you're at the office and you're like, "Am I dreaming right now?" And then like you're a little like tired or something.
No,
and
you're
like,
not.
I
That's
am dreaming.
never gonna. You're never gonna think you're dreaming when you're awake. You might think you're awake when you're dreaming, but there's no way you're gonna think that you're dreaming when you're awake.
I don't know, man. Psychosis is just a step.
Okay,
away.
well that's a
Yeah.
fully different road to go down. But this whole lucid dream thing, and that was like, also make sure like recognize what's happening in a lot of your dreams. Recognize like is there a theme in your dreams that you something that occurs in dreams a lot, and that's another time when you need to like check yourself to
Dude,
see if you're dreaming. Like, so the big one was, am I dreaming when I'm hanging out with friends? Because I'd always be hanging out with my friends in my dreams. So I'd always like, when I'm hanging with my friends in real life, I'd just be like, am I dreaming right now? And then I wouldn't be. And then all of a sudden I'd be dreaming, and I would recognize that.
My trigger was like peeing my pants. Like, that was my trigger.
You're like, all right, am I pissing my pants right now? And you're like, I am. And you're like, am I dreaming? And you're like, no. And then you're like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm gonna go to school now.
Oh yeah. And stay the whole day.
I'm gonna stay the whole day, because eventually these pants are gonna be dry, and it's just gonna smell like pee-pee, and no one's gonna know.
I wrote a joke a little while ago about how like it seems like everyone running for president right now Looks like the kid that peed themselves when they were like in school, or smelled like pee when they were in school.
Oh, the urine boy.
Oh man, everyone had one.
Um,
A urine boy and a wolf girl.
okay, so finishing up the lucid dream, the I did have to kind of like cut back on it, and eventually it kind of went away. Like I stopped trying to do it because I became obsessed with it. And that's when you really get good at it. If you're like obsessed with lucid dreaming, and you figure it out, and then you're just like you're
Do you think the
always
sex
every
part
night.
drove you to like do it more?
I don't know, but eventually I didn't like it anymore. So I don't think that I don't think that was it. I think this is what got me was that you would figure out that you're dreaming, but you'd be in sleep paralysis, which is a very scary thing when you're aware of your sleep paralysis. Have you ever woken up in paralysis?
That's a low key fear of mine.
You've never had that. You've
I've
never had
never
that happen.
had like where I can't move.
I've had it half a dozen times, where I wake up, I can't move, I can't even like really breathe, or at least I think I can't breathe, but obviously I can. But it's just like you have no control over any of your muscles. You're essentially paralyzed.
Dude, if that happens to me once, I'm taking all the drugs to fix that.
Well,
I'm
there's
gonna
no
be on
drugs.
all the drugs.
The problem is, it's not a problem. It's a good thing. It's so that you're not flopping around in bed. You're supposed to, it's so that there's a separation of dreaming and
Yeah,
reality.
but I also want to be asleep. Yeah, at that time, like I get the purpose of it. Like you shouldn't move, like because you don't want to hit yourself. You don't want to hurt yourself.
Well, you also don't want to be, because you can talk in your your lucid dreams too, and you don't want to like, you don't want to be talking when you're like next to somebody in your bed and saying some wild shit that you'd say in a lucid dream.
Oh, I talk in my sleep all the time. All my
Yeah.
partners tell me I talk in my sleep. They all at the end they're like,
What do
"Yeah,
you talk
you're saying
about?
some things." One of them told me that it wasn't coherent. That
Yeah.
like she just like you were saying things that just weren't coherent. And then the other one was like you were speaking in Somali, but your Somali was so bad that I only understood a few things.
My Somali is always on point.
You look like your Somali would be on point. You know what's crazy? Best way to impress a Somali person: be white and just say like a few phrases. They'll fall in love with you.
Oh, really? What can
it's-
I say?
It's crazy. Like, just say mo one accent high. Like, are you okay? Are you good? Or like, just like if you like say some phrases, like even just like salam alaikum, or like
Can you phonetically say that slowly so that I can say it?
salam alaikum's Arabic, but it's salam
Salam.
u
Ooh.
alaikum.
Alaikum.
Salam alaikum.
Salam alaikum.
And then like
And what's that?
that's like peace be upon you. It's Arabic. Like that's like the universal like how are you?
Salam alaikum.
Salam alaikum. Some people say wa alaikum salam back to you. It's like a response. Like
I'm gonna start saying that at my credit union.
dude, yeah, I think you should. And just bring a duffel bag, and if people ask you questions about it,
A Duffy
just
B.
act weird about it.
Act
Duffy
weird
B.
about it.
just go into the cosplay. But no, there's like a whole YouTube series about like just white people speaking Somali fluently.
Oh, yeah.
and people love it. People
I like the
love
guy,
that.
the white guy that does Chinese. You know that guy?
Oh yeah. He just
Xiao
goes-
Man.
Dude, that guy can speak like Nigerian.
Oh,
too.
he speaks everything.
Dude, it's crazy.
He's got a gift, man. He's born with it.
That is so useful too. That is such a like.
I
gift.
mean, these Asian ladies flip out. They can't even believe it. They're like scared. They're scared when the
You know what
white
they
guy
are?
can
They're
talk.
ashamed because I know that feeling. That feeling of like a white dude like being on video and be like, oh, that guy speaks better Somali than me.
Well, 'cause that's
that
it,
makes
too.
you feel like a piece of shit.
So he's like he's like well spoken.
Yeah, like there were a few dudes I listened to and I'm like, oh wow, you're good. Like you're like speaking like high elvish like Somali. Like you're speaking like what my mom is like my grandma was conversing in back in the day. Rest in peace. But like that,
Rest
it's
up,
so
grandma.
crazy. And then you're like, I need to learn, and then you're like, no, I'm not because I don't have time. I want to play Baldur's Gate.
Do you?
Yeah, I think I'm on Act 2.
Um,
I'm a sorcerer.
but yeah, I would love to impress these Somali women that I see at the bank.
There are Somali women at the bank?
So many.
Really?
Oh
Working?
yeah.
Man, I love to see it.
There's
Are they like really
There's
Somali,
only one
or are they
working.
just like black women with hijabs on, Keith?
you tell me I don't know Somalis?
I don't know, man.
Because you
What are
might
they
be
like?
right. I might just be thinking I know something I don't know.
Wait, what type of white are you, Keith?
I'm the white of Europe.
Oh,
I'm a
okay.
European white.
Like, are you Irish?
I'm Irish, I'm British, I'm French.
Oh,
French Canadian.
Hebert has to be French, right?
Yeah. I'm related to Charlemagne, the king.
Charlemagne the God?
The king of France.
France.
Yes, some of that in my lineage.
No way, really?
How is that impressive? I mean, that guy probably fucking slung dick like crazy. I'm sure he was a king. I can only imagine he was slinging it around.
I don't know, man. That's a nice fun fact. Like, hey, I'm like sort of related to Charlemagne the God. He was in. I'm kidding. He was in the. Was he in the Bible? Was he a Bible character?
Charlemagne?
Yeah.
No.
What was Charlemagne in?
If I'm not, I don't know. I think he was around in the 1700s, maybe 1500s.
Dude, this is a fun fact. What was your wait? You're married. You won the game of relationships.
I'm not married.
You're not married. My bad. You're in a. You might as well be married.
I'm essentially
You might as
married.
well be married.
Yeah, I'm essentially married.
You're actually engaged, right? You've been
Yeah,
forever
we've been engaged forever. Yeah.
But like, what was like your pickup line with your partner? Or like, what?
You ready for this?
Yeah.
You ready for this pickup line? Hey, my friend told me that you were 33, but I don't believe you. Can I see your driver's license? I said that when I was 23.
Dude, that is the way to get to a 33-year-old's heart.
And she laughed, and then she showed me her license, and that was what was going on. So she was in a relationship. I wasn't trying to like. That was just like how I met her.
You were the other man.
I was the other man, except I wasn't.
I always wanted to be the other man.
I was not the other man. But yeah, that was the first thing I ever said to her was, "Can I see your license?" And now we have a child.
A very cute child, I will say. Not
We
to be
got a
weird.
little cute little baby. It's fine.
Little cute babes.
But it's, yeah, I figured out the relationship thing, I guess, and it's good. It's good. You got to find just someone that you can be your full true self around.
Yeah. I haven't showed Courtney the bodies yet, but we're close. We're close.
I was so shell shocked from relationships prior, that I was just so open with Amy, like, immediately about everything. I was just like, I'm just laying it out right here. I'm gonna be myself. I'm not even gonna try to like ease Amy into, this weirdo that I am. I'm just gonna be the guy. And I was, and she liked it. So it was good. So it was meant to be. I don't get this whole, when people try to like not reveal their true self, to like who they fully are with their friends and who they're really comfortable with. If you can't be that way to the person that you're seeing right away, then you're pretty much doomed to like not.
Dude, the problem is there are a lot of people who don't know who they are or what they are. Like they just haven't figured it out. and they're just like trying things. Like, have you ever seen someone, or have you ever talked to someone and you're like, oh, you're trying out a personality right now. Like, you're trying something. Like, this isn't you. Like, you're like trying something new right now. Or you saw this
I'm
on
sure
TV.
I have now that you say it, but I don't know that I've ever been on the lookout for it.
I see it all the time because, like, I did it myself when I was younger. Like, I was always trying to look for an identity, and I
Yeah.
was always trying to be like I was tried like the thug thing, like trying
You
to
try thug?
Dude, I have a joke about how like I like tried being a criminal, but like
Oh,
all the kids, like all the
no.
bad influences wouldn't let me do it with them because they're like, this guy won't jump fences with us. Like, they just didn't take me along. So like, no,
You're
I
like,
tried
no, I don't jump fences. I just crash through them. I just barrel
just
through.
barrel right through,
Because
dude.
I'm a big man.
Dude, I
Strong man.
so hard trying to fit in with the bad kids, good kids, everybody, and I'm like, I just like, there's like, I just one day I remember in high school I was just like, I just like playing video games
I
and
love video games.
watching stand up and like I just that's what I like to
You
do.
loved stand up as a kid?
Oh, dude, I would like sneak downstairs to watch the Dave Chappelle show when I was a kid on a Comedy
Nice.
Central. I watched all the like mostly black stand up, obviously like Death Jam.
That's not
I
obvious.
was
That's not obvious.
super into like Death Jam comedy, Death Jam poetry too.
Yeah.
So that's like like what I was into the longest time. I watched all. I remember the first time I watched Killing Them Softly.
Oh, yeah.
And
Great
that
special.
was, like,
One of the best.
I think it's top 10.
He is like, man, Chappelle was so good.
I was in tune.
He was so good, and when his first special, when he came back, I still loved him. But then he just started like, he started going down a bit. I don't know. It just I don't know. He peaked. Whatever. Everyone does. There's no shame
I
in
just
it.
think in stand up, dude, you have to know the world that you're in, right? And the culture. And I think in like whenever that I think it was '05, might have been even like '03. He comes out with the special, Bush is president, all these crazy things are happening, and his special hit. Like, it was just like people understood what he was talking about, and he lived that life. But like when he came out with like he got in trouble for the trans joke, which is an okay joke, but it was like, you're not related to that. You're not trans. You don't have like family or anything. Who is. You
Yeah.
just had that one friend that you barely knew, that you admitted that you barely knew.
Yeah.
And you were like, that one friend was okay with it, so you all have to be okay with it. Also, black people don't like the fact that trans people are like taking away the social energy or whatever to get things done. Like, we're still in a bad place. And I'm like, you're a millionaire who's hanging out with Elon Musk, and like you ended your special with like 50 pictures of you with famous people. That, did you watch the credits for that special?
Yeah, I watched
It's
all
just
of his
photos
specials.
of him just like this.
Yeah, I know. It's you know.
Here, me with Snoop Dogg.
I
Here,
just
me
watched
with
Todd
George.
Berry's special.
Hot Honey.
Short domestic short hair. Just came out yesterday
It's good.
on YouTube. Yeah, it's very funny.
You hung out with him.
Great closer. Great closing bit. But he had, as part of his closing bit, he name dropped, in the opening couple minutes, he name drops Chris Rock and makes a joke about it, which is hilarious. And then later on, he talks about, he shows pictures of himself with a couple of rock stars and a celebrity, and has bits about it. So
That's different for me.
it's
Only
so
because Todd Berry
I know
is
it's so
Todd
funny.
Berry.
Exactly, and that it is funny,
That's
and
his
it all
character.
plays in the bit, and it's great.
Dave Chappelle's not that. Well, he is, but like his character on stage didn't fit that. Versus like Todd Berry, like I was introduced to him in watching Larry, that show, like, and no Louis, why is it Larry? Louis,
You know, the
and
Larry
that
Show.
character resignated, like, oh yeah, this is like a really awkward
Just a
dude.
snarky little guy.
The guy that keeps all his
Just
little receipts.
Basically me.
Snarky little guy, dude.
I can be that.
You know who made me fall in love with stand-up again lately is Ali Sadiq. I don't know if you watched
know I'm familiar with him. I've seen him on podcasts, but I haven't watched his stand-up before.
Keith, I highly recommend you watch Domino Effect 1 and 2, because I think he is one of the best storytelling comics that I've ever listened to, and he's now my favorite comic. I think he's better than Dave Chappelle.
Nice.
I think he's way better than Dave Chappelle.
Now probably.
Before, even before.
Really,
I think
Chappelle
he's better
was
than Dave Chappelle
so
before.
unbelievable. Like I wrote a thing about Dave Chappelle about how he's the greatest of all time comedian. This was like back in 2005 or something. I was like, this guy's the funniest. He's the best. There's nobody funnier than this guy. He's the GOAT. And then like he kind of like came back and was great. That first special was great, and then it just started declining, and then like the quality was just like it just wasn't the same. I think it's just what happens when you become that successful. Like people love you. They're gonna love you no matter what, and like it's not like he's not funny. He's still funny. It's just not. It's a different kind of funny.
I'm not gonna lie. I enjoyed all those specials. There's no Dave
Oh,
Chappelle special I'm like I didn't enjoy.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But there are like I was
He's
just
still
like
Dave
this
Chappelle.
isn't
He's
as
not
good.
It's like he's crap now.
But that's because I'm a fan, right? And
Sure.
I always will be a fan. But like, and like you watch the Chappelle show. That was so special. Like, he was the guy who had the self-hating black guy as like one of there's such a huge bit. He was the predecessor for the Key and Peele show. Like Key and Peele show wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for him, and that's arguably a better sketch show. And I just think like if we are always in the mindset like there's no one who can be better than the other person, because like Pryor was an amazing comic.
Pryor,
everybody
who's
was
Pryor?
like Richard Pryor.
I'm just kidding.
Amazing comic. And then before him, who? Red Fox. Everyone was like, yeah. Or like, and you can go back and go Lenny Bruce, and like nobody's better than Lenny. Well, nobody's better than Red Fox. Nobody's better than Richard. But like, I really think you should give that special a chance, because Ali Sadiq made me laugh. He made me cry, and then he made me laugh.
Yeah.
Because he's a storyteller comic, and his second special, it was his first actually. No, it was the second. Domino Effect 2. He talks about the death of his sister. And then within 30 seconds of him telling you, yeah, my sister died in this horrific way.
Yeah.
Within 30 seconds, he makes you die laughing with the joke.
Obviously.
Within 30 seconds.
Right. Well, that's the whole thing. That's what makes that stuff hit harder. It's like in metal music, like they will put a soft part in a song to mellow things out for when it gets heavy again, so it hits that much harder. So it's like when they put the emotional sad part, that's pulling you in that different direction. So when the laugh kicks in, it just hits you even harder because you were in such a pulled in a completely different direction.
But it really does take like a master to do that, because like I've seen it. I think there's more appreciation from me and you because we've been on enough stages. You've been on more, and you've seen people try that shit. Try going like really emotional, and then not end up the way they want it.
It never does. It never works.
Rarely works. And when you see like a guy who's like a really outstanding talent and who's been in the game for a while, was in prison for a while, when he did that, I lost my shit. That joke was so fun. You should watch it. It just, even part 2.
Yeah.
Just watch part 2 of it. It's free. It's on YouTube. It's completely free. It's an hour. So good. Absolutely outstanding. But who's your favorite comic?
That's just like it's
not Todd Barry, is it?
I can't call him my favorite comic, but he's up there. He's like, always a tell, always, Louis C.K. is just hilarious. He's so funny.
So funny.
He's so funny.
A little fucked up.
Still, every comedian's a little fucked up. But, I mean, in terms of his, just as a comedian, as his jokes, I mean, I don't know a funnier comedian than Louis. Like, I think he's got to be the funniest. He's just so, it's just so funny. I mean, but like, yeah, Attell is just a killer joke guy. But like, I'm very curious to see what happens with these guys like Shane Gillis. He's so funny.
Shane Gillis is really good.
He's so funny, man. And he's just getting better.
Smart.
I saw him like right after he lost SNL, like within 6 months or whatever of him not getting or kicked off the show or whatever. I saw him at at the Stand in New York, and just killer. And I was like, wow, this guy's not on there. Well, that's too bad, just so funny. And the guy he does his podcast with, Matt McCusker, he has a new special out that's so good. Joe List had a new special come out like a week or two ago.
I need to get into Joe List.
That's his best one yet. Like, it's kind of crazy. Like, just it's always good to see comics continue to rise. It's like I mean, they do eventually come back down to earth.
Well, it's because they
get too used to playing to their fans.
Yeah, especially now. Like, they all have podcasts. Like I love Theo Vaughn, and I like Bobby Lee, but they're also like, they're podcasters now. They're so into their shows that they just keep playing to that. And why don't they? Like, it makes total sense to keep playing into that. That's where their money is.
They have their thing. They figured out their lane. They're in it. And
it makes total sense, but it's also like, man, I'd love to see you, like, try new shit. I'd love to see you do XYZ, but it's whatever. Like, I don't think I would have done stand-up if it wasn't for the Joey Diaz podcast and Joe Rogan podcast. Because they were always like, you should do stand-up. You should do stand-up. Like, anybody can do it. You should do it once. And I don't think I would have done it if it looks like it has hair, doesn't it? Like
it's got a little
rat tail.
Hair. Yeah, I wanted to do stand-up since I was probably in middle school. My friend's mom had a George Carlin tape, I think. Probably had a George Carlin tape, the one that said parental advisory on it. And
black shirt.
We put that in and we listened to it, and we just died. We couldn't even understand how we were laughing so hard. It was just the funniest thing of all time. And then the next big thing was like when Dane Cook came out. Like, I remember seeing him on Comedy Central when he was doing his half hour. Like, it was like summertime, like right before college, and it was like we were in my friend's basement watching TV, and that came on, and we were just like laughed so hard. We're like, just thought the guy was so funny, and then he blew up. Like, within a year or two, he was like enormous. And then Jim Gaffigan was like the next one where I was like, this guy is unbelievable. Like, I came home from work one night and put on Comedy Central, and whatever his Comedy Central special was on, and I'd never seen him before, and I'm just laughing and laughing, and then he starts doing the bit about Hot Pockets, and I was laughing so hard out loud in my living room, like at 10 or 11 o'clock at night after I got out of work. My parents asked me the next day, they were like, what were you laughing at so loudly last night? You were laughing really hard. I was like, this guy, he's so funny. He did this whole joke about Hot Pockets. I was losing my mind. He's so funny. And then they ended up getting into Jim Gaffigan too. But yeah, that was pretty much
Have you ever watched
the trajectory.
Have you ever watched like international stand-ups, like stand-up in India, stand-up in like Mexico and all this?
Mexico?
Mexico.
I I've tried
I've watched
some of it.
some
I'm not
stuff.
saying I've tried all. I mean,
I just like to know like what's universally funny. Like if I don't understand the words in stand-up, like what's universally funny? Because my mom, God bless her heart, understands English more than she likes people to know. She likes the advantage of like people thinking she doesn't know English, so she'll be like catching on to words and be like, "Oh yeah." But she watched stand up with me as a kid, and she wouldn't understand the words, and she'd be like, "I don't care about this." Like, but then like when they did voices, she loved it. Like she loved Gabriel Iglesias, Fluffy, because the guy would be like, "Fluffy," and my mom would
Yeah.
be like, "Fluffy,"
Yeah.
and like that was funny. So changing your voice and your pitch, universally funny. People somehow get into that.
They
Facial
love
expressions.
Fluffy in Southern California. When I was living out there, that was like that was it. Everyone was Fluffy. All my Mexican friends. I mean, it's like I'd never really heard of him. I'm like, oh, I think I know that guy, but like insane, obsessed with him because that's like where he's from. You know, he was from Inglewood, I think.
Was he? Yeah. Everyone always. I like his joke about how everyone always confuses me for being Hawaiian, but these are just the shirts that fit. It's
Yeah,
like,
right.
what is it?
He's great.
He's a funny dude, and I also think like I don't want to meet a lot of celebrities. Like I wouldn't want to meet Ali Sadiq because I love him so much, or Dave Chappelle. I love them both so much that if I met them, I'm worried they're not gonna measure up.
They
like I'm gonna
won't.
but I feel like Gabriel Iglesias, if I met him, I'd be like, "Yo, let's go to a buffet. Let's chill, dude. I'm down. Let's go to Crispy Guy and hang out with Marcus Cardona."
All right, Gabe, you've heard it here. You got an open invite to have dinner with Mo.
I won't pay. I'm kidding. But come on, hang out with me. Where would you take Joe List out or
I would leave Joe List alone. I think I don't think I want to bother him. I
Gaffigan? Would you take Gaffigan out anywhere? Would you take him to a fish market here?
I don't think
Scales?
Gaffigan wants to be. I don't think. I don't know. I don't know that I want to hang out with any of them in a non-comedy environment. I don't think I want to go out to dinner. Like that's an intimate thing. It would be awkward, I would think.
Why is it that people say like eating together is intimate?
Because it's just you and the other person, and you're kind of like, and you're in a non-familiar.
Yeah, but if you went to
environment.
elementary school, you sat down and ate lunch with people you didn't know, like on a table. It's not intimate.
Yeah, but it wasn't
Not
one-on-one.
Yeah, you
You go one-on-one with a person you didn't know and have lunch with them?
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I have. I have. I was in Chicago.
Yeah.
I was in Chicago for a writing workshop, and I was having some lunch, and I went to a place called Little Cheval. It was a burger place, and there were very limited seating. I sat alone because I don't know anyone, right?
At Cheval?
At Little Cheval. Little Cheval.
Lil Cheval.
Mini Cheval. Father-son duo come by. They're like, "Hey, can I sit with you?" I'm like,
Yeah.
We sat together, we ate, we chatted, became good friends. At least for the night, they gave me recommendations of places to go and eat and drink. They actually have been to Portland. He knows a restaurateur in Portland. The guy was from New Hampshire originally. We connected, had a good time. I invited him out to a show I was doing there at Lincoln Lodge too, and not intimate at all. Him and his kid. I think I even offered up some fries. Like
Yeah, that's fine, but I think the scenario of like being put into a one-on-one dinner situation with someone that you know a lot about, and they have no idea who you are, that could just
Good point.
easily become weird. Because you'd be like, yeah, we know this, this guy, and then he's like, yeah, and then, but you're just like a guy, you're just like a question machine. That's really all.
Well, I think you shouldn't like be a question machine. At
I
that
know,
point. Like,
but
you
that's
should be,
it's
like,
so easy to do when you're
cool,
nervous.
Like, hey, I really appreciate what you done, and like I feel like, okay, like, and the context I'm thinking about is like you do a show together, like you open up or something, or like you host, and like you guys mutually agree to go out and have lunch together. Like you're both, or dinner together. You're both like, I'm hungry. Oh, me too. Hey, Keith, know any spots? My treat. And you go. Right?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm thinking. Like, where would you take them? Like, I would, in Portland, like, my go-to has always been Crispy Guy, or if it's late night, good old, shit. Yeah, I'll take them to Shit. Shit's an avant-garde place.
That's
really
good.
nice.
They serve the best shit in town.
Yeah.
Do you have any closing words for this week? How do you feel about the skeleton man?
I just wonder, why is Jaw... He looks like a biter. Fuck. We need to dress him up, dude. We need to get him
I
like
mean,
a
we can
hoodie,
work. I mean, this is just Ep 1.
a hat, like some pants. Like, you got any... How is your kid about the skeleton size or bigger?
This is not a very anatomically correct skeleton. I think my kid is, the legs are a bit long. I think then my kid's legs aren't that long. I don't think hers are probably like this long. She probably and her head is definitely way bigger than that.
Way bigger.
Skeleton head is small. I don't know. I feel like this part of her body is even bigger. I don't know. I feel like the legs are kind of long. If if we're really getting into the nitty gritty.
I was just thinking clothes we could borrow. I don't know if you had anything, but
oh, we'll figure. Yeah, we could put some. I'll get something. I can get a baby hat on here.
High five.
Ouch.
Those are my closing words.
But yeah, high five, and this is the beginning of a really what will be a fun experience, I think, for everybody. They're gonna tune in, and they're gonna never tune out.
Right here, the Hadron Collider, making antimatter.
Large Hadron Collider. You heard it here, folks.
Doot doodaloot doot.
Any plugs? Just kidding. We'll see you next week, okay?
See you next week, beautiful.
Bye-bye.
I love you, Mom.
Bye, Mama.